Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna have basically another fuck fluffy marathon of topic suggestions. I've got a whole bunch of them. I like to keep my list down to only a few, and so we are gonna cover a suggestion from Bayou Raptor, and I have a whole bunch more to do today. So you'll probably hear your name at some point along the line. I will also mix together a couple topic suggestions into videos because some of them are just short topics, and so it's better to blend relatable topics. Real quick, I wanted to say, hold on a second. I'm a strong believer that you manifest and receive the type of energy you put out into the world. And by that I mean, like, I'm a super positive person. I kind of tend to get the energy back off of people that I put out. I'm super fortunate. Hold on, this is bothering the shit out of me. There we go. I'm super fortunate in this world. I don't believe that's an accident. I believe it's the fact that I am super good to those around me. I have compassion. I'm loving. That's a little better. I'm a lot of great things. And so I receive those things back. I've had people tell me that I'm lucky and fortunate and all kinds of things. Well, yeah, I guess. But I think a big part of it is the way I treat myself, the way I treat others, and this reflects out into the world, and you get what you put in. Manifest destiny, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I am just fortunate. So the lady we go to do the water heater for today, and when I say I had my dear friend and roommate Doug go with me to help because we would have to lift a water heater up into a single wide trailer, and I wasn't fitting to break the foundation and wood boards. Also, I knew there'd probably be other work that was involved, and there was. So that's why we get to do a bit of a fuck fluffy marathon today. We have to get some parts and stuff, and this poor woman is, well, she's poor. And she wanted to know how much just the parts would be. And she's worried about that and needing to save up the money. And, I told her maybe $20, $30, and she's okay, well, I've got to get that money together. And I mean, she lives in a poor neighborhood in a tiny single wide trailer. And that's just heartbreaking for me. I mean, I'm not like the best off, but I'm definitely not like super, super poor. But once again, I feel like I live my life in such a positive manner, and I'm so giving and fast to help and stuff that things always seem to pay off themselves. I don't have to do much. So I told her, Doug and I will handle this, and if you have to pay us back $5 at a time, you can. I had kind of offered to like just do it, but she insisted on wanting to pay for the parts because we're actually putting the water heater in for free for her. But the reason I bring this up is I go into the house to chat with her because she's very old and she's on oxygen, and we start chatting, and within 3, 4 sentences after telling her about the parts, she mentioned hating dogs. What? And I was all, shut the front door, lady. I could talk about dog hatred all damn day. And she was Catwoman. Okay, not a whole bunch of cats or nothing. And she's clean. Hey, I take my friends where I can get them. This is a small community we have. I'm not going to sit there and bash on an old lady about having a cat. I'm much more enthralled with the fact that she said she hated dogs, which you find with people with cats. Often that happens, so you don't want to isolate people. I know there's cat lovers on this channel. I don't mind. I'm not here to pick on anyone. I'm here to talk about dogs. I will mention here and there about domestication of animals and how barbaric it is and what it takes to work them and force them into the life that we have chose for them. But really not, my focus is dogs, okay? So everybody, you're safe here. Wow, how awesome was that? Got to have a great conversation with someone about hating dogs while out on a job site. So gotta take our hits where we can get them. So let's get on to our topic suggestion from Bayou Raptor, okay? Now let's hop on over to some things I looked up. He wanted me to speak about how dogs are not receptive to affection, okay? They don't like being cuddled on. They don't want you in their faces. They don't want you all over them. This is actually something that's very well known. Not to mention, if you want a dog that's well trained, you're not going to be cuddling on it, grabbing it, getting close to it, that's just not proper training. You're right out. It's just, it's the opposite of everything you want to do. This is part of the reason these critters have become so humanized and act the way they do, is because we are enabling them to do so. Okay, so let's get into an article from a group called Dogster. Now, I pulled up a couple of dog articles to go with this because even they can admit in different languages that dogs don't like to be cuddled. They don't want you all over them like that. They find it off-putting. Even the dog, I often think, is looking at the dog owner like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? Why is this person hanging on me? And how often have we seen, people that get bit in the face, lunged on, because they're all up in this critter's like face and all over them. And, this goes back to like what we were talking about yesterday. You can't even speak to this thing. You have no idea how it's feeling. They're highly unpredictable. They're unstable. They're bred down from predators, just genetic mutants that are sitting there wondering why the hell you are touching all over them and all up in their space, okay? When I went to look this up, a whole bunch of information came up about like, why doesn't my dog want to snuggle me? And then they're like, you're not a bad pet parent if your dog doesn't want to snuggle you. Oh, Christ, these people. Have you ever just stopped to think that Fluffy can't talk to you and Fluffy doesn't want you all over it? Okay? He's literally an unpredictable predator with a mouthful of steak knives, and you're snuggling all over the damn thing, rubbing its shit and hair all over you. It's just gross. So here's this from the Dogster. They explain how dogs show affection to humans, okay? How do dogs show affection? Dogs communicate with us through body language and actions. Okay? Body language and actions. Now, none of these involve snuggling. Okay? Pay attention. As a professional dog trainer, I'm immersed in teaching dogs and their humans. Really, more often than not, you're training the humans, and the humans are one that keep fucking up. They're the ones who want to humanize these things. It's rare to get a question I haven't been asked many times before, but recently, not from a client, but from a cat fanatic friend who has never had a dog. She asked, how do dogs show affection to humans? Great question. Even those who have lived with dogs can sometimes misread canine language. Sometimes, all the time. I know a couple people that are smarter than that, but before I share the top ways that dogs show affection, please keep in mind that something occurring to a dog is aversive if a dog feels it is. In other words, it's not just children who need to ask if they can pet a dog. Even if given permission to say hello, please not only be respectful to the dog's space, but watch his body and face closely. And so where this is all just bullshit, because we shouldn't be tiptoeing around these things, right? But they're right, okay? These dogs don't want people all over them. They don't want to be touched all over. It's like, strangers coming up with my son and being, hey, can I get in your son's space and pet him and touch? No, hell no. What the hell's wrong with people? You should be respecting everybody's space. We shouldn't be all over each other spreading bodily fluids around unless you're about to get it on. Anyways, here's how dogs show affection to humans. Let's look at 4 ways. Dogs show affection with their tails. Okay? When people ask how a dog would show affection, a wagging tail would normally come to mind. We all know they wag their tails while they attack. They wag their tails when they're scared. Okay, so more jargon. A wagging tail speaks volumes, although what it communicates isn't as important as the language on a dog's face and overall body posture. So even they say, wagging tail doesn't absolutely mean that it's happy. They love seeing what they call the big windy helicopter tail, okay? So they have a border collie that has a circling tail when it meets people, all right? Fun. A dog with a wagging tail can bite someone or another dog. Okay, this is part of the reason I pulled this article up. This dog trainer is being pretty honest, okay? By the way, it won't look like this, her dog's big waggy tail. A dog's tail is up over its back and stiff is a come on and let's be friends tail. Walk away from a dog that's showing stiffness, as it's often a warning flag. Look for big circling tail wagging, especially if the dog's like her dog, Monster, who doesn't have a tail, has a stub. But part of this was true, okay? Part of this was true. They do wag their tails while they're attacking. They show affection with their faces, okay? This person says, we all love this. Dogs can smile or grin. No, they don't. It's just part of the way you have bred them genetically to make it look that way. In general, you want to see an open, relaxed mouth, not a shut, tight grimace. Yes, you know what's welcoming? A big open mouth with all those steak knives hanging out. I'm gonna pet this. Panting can be a sign of stress, okay? I love you dog eyes. But they will look you right in the eyes, which is completely different than a hard stare, okay? Dogs show affection with jumping, okay? Great. Oh boy, jump all over me and invade my space, knock my child over. Not all humans, of course, like to be jumped on, but often dogs do, so to get closer to your face and give you welcome home friend licks. The human face is incredibly important to dogs. Oh, we know. They love to tear it off and attack it and go for the neck and the head and the face. How many stories we heard about that? Please be aware, sometimes dogs jump on humans for other reasons. Ones that suffer from separation anxiety. And the last one, I just wanted to cover what, a dog trainer says about what affection looks like from a dog. Leaning, okay? This is a dangerous thing, and before we even get into what they say, leaning can be both. Leaning can be a sign because they'll lean into you when you're petting them and shit like that. Leaning can also be quite dominant, okay? So they like to push and lean against you, and most people don't understand the difference between one leaning on you to look up at you and beg for food, which is how they show affection. It's why they show affection, so they can get food. Leaning is something that doesn't come to mind often when thinking about affection. Working with Labradors and Rottweilers who love to lean on legs while they're being scratched. The dog is often looking up at the human's eyes, begging for food, looking all smiley with a mouth open and soft eyes. Some will paw. Sometimes an insecure dog leans in for comfort or support. Once I'd met a junkyard dog that the owner had proudly told me he'd bred himself and raised from a puppy. It never growled or put its hackles up. He gave me a hard stare on his way over and leaned against my leg. This was not a loving lean. It made my blood run cold. He didn't bite me, but he warned me. His body was stiff as a board. He told me with one wrong move, he'd dispatch me. So even this dog trainer is afraid of this damn dog. Okay? So, there you go. I just wanted to go over that real quick and just give you an example of what a dog trainer says about affection. Okay, so let's hop into this. Why dogs isolate themselves, okay? I love how they use the word fluffy. Most dog owners agree there's nothing better than snuggling with your pooch. Yeah, the dog owners agree with that. Ask the damn dog. Oh yeah, I forgot. It doesn't talk to you because it's a fucking dog. So when sweet little Fluffy starts to avoid you, I didn't put that in, they did. When sweet little Fluffy starts to avoid your company, it could be cause for hurt feelings and concern. No, it doesn't want to be snuggled. You're going to be asking yourself a lot of questions. What did I do wrong? Is something wrong with Fluffy? God damn it. Is something wrong with you, Fluffy? Answer me! Why do dogs isolate themselves? These are all valid questions in the event that your fur baby becomes more elusive. There are multiple opinions on the matter from fields of experts that have weighed in on the topics of canines isolating themselves from humans and other animals. I don't know, maybe because deep down inside they're supposed to be a pack breed and they don't belong in your house snuggling on you in the first place, okay? So, anxiety, okay, will cause a dog to rush off and hide itself. Yeah, it's anxious. It's not even supposed to be living like this. Poor socialization, trauma, okay? And so, like I said, I'm only going to touch on these because I'm pulling out the pieces that associate to the topic at hand, okay? And then I'm going to go on into explaining, and you guys know some of these attacks, so it's quite simple to understand. They don't like it, okay? Oh, it could be getting old. Fluffy could just be getting old, If you want your dog to be snuggly, you have to make sure it's socialized when it's a puppy and avoid fears and anxiety. Spending as much time with the dog, fur baby, they keep saying, it's gross. And remember, happy, healthy dogs will love you forever. You guys, and all this is over and over again is a human wanting to snuggle Fluffy and then training and forcing Fluffy to do so. The dogs are not like that. You know, lap dogs want to sit in your lap, but it's because they're waiting for food to fall out of your face. It's not because they want to snuggle. These things are extremely anxiety ridden. They sit on top of the humans because not only is that where food comes from, but they either look at you as a lower member of the pack or as the alpha. More often than not, they look at you like you're fucking dumb, and they're just sitting around waiting for you to drop food crumbs on them, and then they can leap out and attack anybody else. Everybody's, no, Fluffy's protective. No, Fluffy is afraid that he's going to have to share food with you. How many people have we seen where they're, attacks the husband and stuff, or the wife, and they're all laughing about it? That's not funny, okay? That is not funny. So, you guys, these things are not receptive to this, and we all know they constantly attack people, especially when their space is being invaded. Alright. Oh, God. So I just wanted to read this article real quick, popped up. It's not completely related, but, important nonetheless. God. Dogs can get COVID-19, okay? And then the line is, because the safety of your furry friend is always first priority. I was told a great joke this morning I'm going to share with you guys. What is the difference between a suicide bomber and a dog lover? It's, nothing. They'll both die for their ideals and beliefs. I'm sorry. Joke's probably in slightly poor taste, but I think it's funny. Yes, you read that right. Over the past week, numerous cases of COVID-19 have been detected among dogs all over the country, okay? Possibility of animals getting infected is low, but you shouldn't be taking any risks, okay? Recent studies show not only can dogs get infected by the virus, in some cases their fur can serve as a carrier of the virus, thereby risking even your life. Thus, both you and your dog are at risk from the virus. It's the same thing as a cold or the flu. I'm not trying to bash or put it down and dismiss anything. I'm just saying it's not too far off, and that's the same thing to be said, is that you can get the cold and flu and pass it back and forth to your critters. They can pass it back and forth to you, okay? And like I said, this just goes right back into dogs not being receptive to this bullshit. Practice social distancing with your dog, like I do. Like all of articles and advice about preventing COVID-19 transmission, social distancing makes it to this article as well. How do you practice social distancing when the two of you live in the same house? Well, it may be difficult, but it can be done. First and foremost, don't make out with your dog. They didn't say that, I'm saying that. And to ensure whenever you take your dog out for a walk, do so on a leash. Your dog actually comes in contact with a virus. He's far enough away to not pose a risk to you. As soon as you get home, you need to give them a bath using medically tested shampoo to wipe away all traces of the virus. Kill me now. No more sharing food with your dog, guys. Don't be doing it. As hard as this may be. Gross. No kissing or snuggling. Okay, so this is the worst part. This is the worst part, Fluffy. Ah! Oh, God. For the same reason mentioned above, you should be avoiding kissing and snuggling with your pet. Also, make sure your dog doesn't lick you if he's coming in from outside. No sleeping together. No more intimacy, Fluffy. Fluffy's happy about that. That thing's tired of you finger banging it and rubbing all over it. It thinks you're freaking weird. Okay? No kissing, no snuggling, or physical contact rules. Sleeping with your dog is potentially harmful, dangerous, and horrifying to Ashley and those around me. Oh my goodness. God, what is wrong with these people? Don't make your pet wear a mask. I hate everything. These people. Oh. Wash your hands after you bathe Fluffy, because he's fucking disgusting. These people, man, these people are insane. They're so crazy. Okay, this is so... Let's hop right into the fact that when they snuggle and get close with these things and start touching all over them, people get bit, okay? My sister got bit by a dog I owned when I was very, very young. She was messing around, touching on the thing. It jumped right up and snapped her right in the face. It got her right here, right there. You know, when I was young, I didn't quite get it. You know, I was brainwashed, and I loved Fluffy. That's what it was important at the time. I was young. I was naive. And my dad killed the damn thing. And I was bent out of shape. I was pissed. I thought, you know, I was trying to come up with a way that it was my sister's fault. And no, I'm glad my father had enough common sense, because as an adult, I look back and think, you know, that thing almost took my sister's damn eye out. Okay, and here I was going to sit there and defend the damn dog over my sister. That's wild. As I see this stuff now, I feel a little more sympathy and understanding. I don't know if those are the best words to use, but I know that people are brainwashed, okay? And I know that this agenda is strong, and so I try to be understanding until they start being shitheads, and then I'm just sick of it. So, more often than not, these family dogs of these critters, the children are just playing, here comes the dog, they're petting the dog, it attacks them. The stories that come up about this over and over again, it's just outlandish. These things don't want you touching all over them. Think about, you know, back in the day, and I'm constantly talking about this, when these things were kept outside for the most part, they had dog houses, you know, children weren't attacked as much, this wasn't so prevalent, and we weren't snuggling all over these things and treating them like humans. You know, now you got these things and we're treating them like they're a member of the family, calling your children their brothers and sisters, and all kinds of other disgusting activity that everyone should be horrified about. You should be horrified that you would place your children on the same level with these disgusting freaking things. I seen someone make a comment about like, oh, you know, I love my dog. If he died, I would cry. If you died, I don't even know you. I wouldn't even care. And someone says like, you know, if someone was placing me on the same level as a freaking golden retriever or something, that is just it for me. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to wrap this up. We all know this. We've seen it before. You watch it happen. Multiple videos and pictures where they're all over the dog or doing this and that, and the dog just looks like annoyed. They're not happy to have you all over them. They don't want you touching all over them. Oh my gosh. It's just, it's this weird stuff that these people do that gives me more content to talk about, because these people are weird. You guys, stop it. Stop. These are not baby dolls. These shouldn't even be touching your children that much. You know, and they're just all over this thing, touching all over, checking it, smelling their butts, touching all over. I've seen people do the weirdest thing. I went to a lady's house and was working with her dog, and she literally like turns it over and grabs its nipples to show me that dogs deformed nipple. I said, will you quit that? You don't be touching all over that thing like that. That ain't how this works. Even the people that have the damn things don't know how to work with them, and that's half the problem that we are all putting up with today. So, until the next video, which I will be doing one here in a little bit, I'm going to take some breaks in between. Take care of yourselves, alright? Get your mag lights, hornet spray, fire extinguishers, whatever you got. Mag lights, steel toe boots, use it. Like I said, pocket sand. Let those sons of bitches have it. Protect yourself, protect our children, humans first. From the bottom of my dog-hating heart, I appreciate every single one of you, and have a nice day until the next video, where I think I'm going to either cover some YouTube videos or maybe a couple of emails. I'm not really exactly sure yet. I'll get there. Until then, thank you guys. Take care. Much love.